Life after death in Buddhism. Understanding the six realms. My dear friends, let us begin this journey together with a single question that has echoed in the hearts of countless beings throughout time. Where did we come from? And where will we go when this fleeting breath of life comes to an end? You and I are alive now, listening, breathing, feeling, but we cannot escape the truth that one day this body will return to the earth. This breath will stop, and this world that feels so solid will slip from our grasp like a dream fading at dawn. And when that moment comes, what awaits us? Is it darkness? Is it light? Or is it something far more mysterious? I want you to pause and look within your own heart. Have you ever stood at the bedside of someone you love as they took their final breath? Have you ever walked away from a funeral with the quiet whisper in your mind, "Where are they now?" These moments shake us because they pierce through the illusions we cling to every day. We think we are permanent, that our families, our possessions, even our very bodies will stay with us forever. But life is fragile, and impermanence is the one promise no one can break. The Buddha, out of infinite compassion, offered us a vision that answers these trembling questions. He did not speak of death as an ending, but as a turning of the wheel. Just as the seasons change, just as day becomes night, and night gives way to dawn, so too does consciousness flow onward. Birth and death are not two separate doors, but one continuous passage. This passage is called Samsara, the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. And within this cycle are six vast landscapes of existence, six realms where beings wander according to the seeds of karma they have sown. These realms are not distant fairy tales, nor abstract philosophy. They are real experiences shaped by our actions, our thoughts, and our intentions. Sometimes they are entire worlds into which beings are born. Sometimes they are states of mind that we taste in a single day. Have you ever felt the fire of anger burn so hot that it consumed you? In that moment, you have touched the realm of hell. Have you ever been trapped by endless craving, never satisfied no matter how much you grasped? That is the hunger of the ghostly realm. Have you ever felt deep peace, beauty, or joy that seemed unshakable? Then you have known a glimpse of the realm of the gods. But here is the great truth. No matter how high we rise, no matter how low we fall, the wheel keeps turning. Pleasure fades, pain passes, pride crumbles, envy eats itself, desire never ends, and anger leaves only ashes. The Buddha did not reveal these realms to frighten us, but to awaken us, to show us that faith in rebirth is not superstition. It is a mirror held up to the heart. It teaches us that our choices matter. Every word, every deed, every thought plants a seed, and from those seeds our future grows. So as we walk together through these realms of existence, I invite you not to listen with the ears of curiosity alone, but with the ears of faith and reflection. Ask yourself, which seeds am I planting today? Which realm am I creating within my own heart? For in truth, the six realms are not distant lands awaiting us after death. They are also doors opening within us at this very moment. To understand them is to understand ourselves. To recognize them is to find the path that leads beyond them. And to have faith in this path is to find freedom, not in some distant future, but here, now in this very life. Shall we walk together into the first realm? Realm 1. The realm of the gods, Devas. My dear companions on this path, let us now step gently into the first of the six realms, the realm of the gods, the Devas. When we imagine this place, what comes to mind? Brilliant light, celestial music, bodies without pain, lives that stretch for eons, abundance flowing like rivers. The Devas dwell in radiant palaces, surrounded by gardens of jewels and rivers of nectar. Their days are filled with joy, their nights with bliss. They know no hunger, no sickness, no struggle. Everything they wish for appears before them with ease, as if the very air responds to their desire. It sounds like paradise, does it not? And many people hearing this description feel a yearning to be reborn there. If only I could live without suffering, they think. If only I could be surrounded by endless pleasure. But my friends, listen carefully. The realm of the gods is not the end of suffering, only a pause in its dance. Even here, among splendor and ease, impermanence rules. The Devas, in their long lives, often forget this truth. They become intoxicated with pleasure, blinded by their own brilliance, and convinced that their joy will never fade. And yet, one by one, even the gods must face decline. The flowers of their crowns wither, their radiant bodies lose their glow, and the other Devas turn away from them. Imagine the sorrow of a being who has known only beauty suddenly feeling decay for the first time. Imagine the terror of one who thought life was eternal, realizing that death has come to claim them too. For the Devas, this realization is sharp and unbearable, because they have wasted their long lives in pleasure, without practicing the Dharma. The Buddha taught us this so we would understand. Pleasure alone cannot bring liberation. Wealth, beauty, power, long life, all of these may feel like blessings, but they can also be traps. They dull the urgency of practice. They whisper, "Why meditate? Why seek truth? You already have everything you need." And then, like a dream, it all vanishes. But let us not think of the Deva realm as a faraway place only reached after death. It is also a state of mind that you and I can taste here and now. Have you ever felt a moment so joyful, so peaceful, that the troubles of the world seem to disappear? Perhaps in the embrace of someone you love, perhaps watching a sunset, perhaps in the success of your work. In those moments you dwell, even briefly, in the heaven of the gods. But notice what happens. The moment passes, the embrace loosens, the sunset fades, the applause dies down, and if we cling to it, our heart aches. So the lesson of the Deva realm is this: do not be fooled by pleasure. Do not cling to happiness as though it will save you. Use joy as fuel for wisdom, not as a pillow for forgetfulness. If you find yourself in a moment of ease, let it remind you of the fleeting nature of all things. Let it inspire gratitude rather than pride, generosity rather than indulgence. Then even the joys of this life become part of the path. Remember, my friends, the realm of the gods is not a final destination. It is another turning of the wheel, another stop along the endless road of Samsara. Even the most dazzling light cannot outshine impermanence. Only wisdom, only compassion, only the practice of the Dharma can carry us beyond the cycle of birth and death. And so, with this lesson in our hearts, let us move on together to the next realm, the realm of the Demigods, where jealousy and rivalry reign. Realm 2, the realm of the Demigods, Asuras. My dear friends, having walked with me through the splendor of the gods, let us now descend into a realm that is not so radiant, yet equally instructive, the realm of the Demigods, the Asuras. The Asuras are beings of great power, strong and fierce, but their hearts are restless. They live close to the gods, and from their vantage point they can see the shining palaces, the radiant crowns, the endless joys of the Deva realm, and what arises in their minds. Not gratitude for what they have, not contentment with their own strength, but jealousy. Their eyes burn with envy, their hearts beat with rivalry. They cannot rest because they are always comparing themselves to others. Imagine a neighbor whose house is fine and solid, yet every day he looks over the fence at the larger mansion across the street, and in his heart he feels only bitterness. That is the life of the Asura. They have abundance, but they see only what they lack. They fight and claw their way upward, never at peace, always battling, always competing. Their lives are consumed by struggle, not because they do not have enough, but because they do not know how to be content. And do we not know this realm in our own hearts? Look around in our human world. How often do we find ourselves trapped in the same cycle? We see someone with more wealth and jealousy arises. We see someone praised more than us, and resentment stirs. We scroll through the glowing images of others' lives, and our minds whisper, Why not me? Why am I less? In those moments, we are no different from the Asuras, trapped in rivalry, unable to taste peace. The danger of this realm is not only the suffering it brings to oneself, but also the harm it spreads to others. Jealousy poisons relationships. Competition blinds us to compassion, and restlessness drives us deeper into samsara. When the heart is filled with envy, even the sweetest fruit tastes bitter. But the Buddha gave us a medicine for this poison. It is the practice of mudita, sympathetic joy. When we see another succeed, when we see another shine, let us rejoice as if it were our own happiness. Let us train the heart to say, may they be well, may their joy grow, may their success bring peace. At first it may feel unnatural, but with practice, this joy blossoms like a lotus, and envy fades like mist under the morning sun. The lesson of the Asura realm is clear. Comparison is endless. Rivalry never ends. If we chase happiness in the shadow of others, we will never find it. True joy is not found in surpassing someone else, but in awakening to the truth of our own mind. So let us walk forward with this understanding, and step next into a realm closer to us than any other, the realm of human beings, where joy and sorrow intertwine, and where the most precious opportunity of all awaits. Realm 3. The human realm. My dear companions, now we arrive at the realm that is closest to us, for it is the realm we are living in at this very moment. The human realm. Unlike the radiant heavens of the gods, or the jealous struggles of the demigods, this realm is marked by a delicate balance, joy and sorrow, gain and loss, beauty and suffering. It is neither paradise nor torment, but something in between. And precisely because of this balance, the Buddha declared the human realm to be the most precious of all. Why is that so? Look at our lives. We experience happiness, the laughter of children, the comfort of friendship, the satisfaction of work well done. Yet we also experience pain, illness, disappointment, aging, and the final certainty of death. We are reminded constantly of impermanence. Yet we also taste enough joy to have hope. This balance is a gift, because it awakens us. The 7-8 because it awakens us. Too much pleasure, as in the realm of the gods, dulls the urgency of practice. Too much suffering, as in the hells, crushes the spirit. But here in this human birth, the balance is just enough to turn the heart toward the Dharma. Think for a moment. Out of countless possible rebirths, you have found yourself here, as a human being, able to hear the teachings of the Buddha. The scriptures tell us that a human birth is rarer than a blind turtle, surfacing from the depths of the ocean once every 100 years, and placing its head through a small wooden ring floating on the waves. Such is the rarity of being born human. Can we afford to waste this precious chance? Yet look at how easily we forget. We fill our days with endless distractions, chasing wealth, beauty, status, as if we had all the time in the world. We cling to grudges. We let anger fester. We live as though tomorrow is guaranteed. But tell me, who among us knows if we will still breathe tomorrow? Who among us can promise that the sun we see rise today will also rise for us again? Life is fragile, like dew on the grass at dawn, like a candle flickering in the wind. The lesson of the human realm is urgency. It is the reminder that now is the time to awaken. Now is the time to practice. Now is the time to sow seeds of compassion, wisdom, and faith. Do not wait for a more convenient day. Do not wait for old age. Do not wait for the world to be calmer. Each moment is precious. Each choice shapes your path. But there is also joy in this reminder. For though life is fleeting, every moment gives us the chance to turn toward awakening. Every breath is an opportunity to let go of anger, to release envy, to cultivate kindness. Every act of generosity, every moment of mindfulness, every prayer whispered from the heart becomes a lamp guiding us forward. So let us not despise this human birth by living like animals, nor squander it by grasping like hungry ghosts, nor poison it with hatred like those in the hells. Let us honor this gift by walking the path of the Buddha with sincerity, and with this reverence for our human life. Let us now continue into the next realm, the realm of animals, where instinct and ignorance hold sway, and where compassion calls us to look deeper. Realm 4. The animal realm. My dear friends, let us now turn our gaze to the animal realm, the fourth of the 6 paths of rebirth. When we think of animals, we may picture innocence, creatures moving through forests, swimming in rivers, soaring in skies. Yet in the teachings of the Buddha, the animal realm is not a place of freedom, but of bondage. It is marked by ignorance, fear, and the heavy chain of instinct. Animals live under constant threat. The strong prey upon the weak scatter in fear. Their lives revolve around the endless cycle of survival, seeking food, escaping danger, finding shelter. There is little space for reflection, for choice, for wisdom. Instinct drives them, and ignorance blinds them. And so, beings born into this realm suffer not because they lack beauty or strength, but because they lack the clarity to rise above their impulses. Think of a bird caught in a cage, fluttering against the bars. Think of a beast tied to a plow, circling the same field day after day. This is the fate of the animal realm. And yet do we not sometimes taste this realm within ourselves? When we act without thinking, when we are ruled by appetite alone, when fear keeps us small and silent, are we not then dwelling in the same realm? This realm teaches us a sobering truth. Ignorance is as heavy as iron. A mind that does not seek wisdom, a heart that refuses to open, is no freer than a beast of burden. And yet, my friends, there is another side to this teaching. For while the animal realm warns us of ignorance, it also calls us to compassion. Look at the animals around us. How often do they suffer at human hands? How often are they exploited, treated as tools, stripped of dignity? The Buddha reminded us that all beings, even the smallest ant or the simplest fish, long for safety and peace. To awaken compassion for animals is to see beyond our own pride, to recognize that life is shared, that suffering is shared, that liberation must embrace all. So let us ask ourselves, in our human lives, are we living with awareness, or are we living like beasts of habit? Are we awake to the Dharma, or are we sleeping in ignorance? Each time we choose mindfulness, we step out of the animal realm. Each time we show compassion, we lift another being with us. The lesson of the animal realm is this: ignorance is suffering, but awareness is freedom. Let us not waste our human birth by living as though we were asleep. Let us open our eyes, let us open our hearts, and let us walk with compassion for all beings who share this fragile world with us. And now, my dear companions, we continue our journey to the 5th realm, the haunting world of the hungry ghosts, where craving knows no end and desire devours itself. Realm 5. The realm of hungry ghosts, Pretas. My dear companions, let us step now into the haunting landscape of the hungry ghost realm, the world of the Pretas. It is a realm not of joy or peace, but of endless craving. The beings here are tormented by desires that can never be satisfied. Their bodies are gaunt, their stomachs swollen with hunger, their throats so narrow that even a drop of water cannot pass without agony. They wander through deserts of longing, surrounded by food and drink that turns to ash in their hands. No matter how much they seek, their thirst is never quenched, their hunger never eased. This realm is a symbol of craving without end, and though it sounds far from us, do we not see its shadow every day in our world? Look at the person consumed by addiction, whether to drink, to drugs, to gambling, to endless consumption. Their desire eats them alive, just as surely as fire devours wood. Look at the one who hoards wealth, yet feels poorer with every coin gained. Look at the one who seeks love in every face, but whose heart is never at rest. These are hungry ghosts walking among us, their suffering hidden beneath the surface of human form. And if we are honest, have we not all touched this realm in our own lives? Think of the times when no amount of food, no amount of praise, no amount of possessions ever seemed enough. The times when our hearts whispered, more, 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 and yet the more we grasped, the emptier we felt. This is the fire of the Preta realm burning within us. The Buddha revealed this realm not to frighten us, but to hold up a mirror. He showed us that craving is endless, but it is not hopeless. For craving grows only when we feed it, when we practice contentment, when we nurture gratitude. The fire of hunger begins to cool. The simplest meal, taken with mindfulness, becomes a feast. A single act of kindness, offered without expecting return, fills the heart more than mountains of gold. To live with enough is to live free. The hungry ghosts teach us the most painful yet most necessary lesson. Desire without wisdom is suffering without end. But they also remind us of our responsibility. If we see beings trapped in craving, let us not condemn them, but extend compassion. Let us offer them kindness, guidance, and patience. For one day it may be us who thirsts, and only compassion will lead us back to balance. So my dear friends, let us reflect deeply on this realm. Are we feeding ghosts in our own hearts? Are we chasing endlessly, or are we learning to rest in enough? To be free of the Preta realm is not to have everything, but to realize that we already have what we need. With this lesson in our hearts, let us now move forward into the final realm of rebirth, the hell realms, places of great torment and suffering, where anger and hatred consume all who dwell there. Realm 6, the hell realms, Naraka. My dear friends, we now arrive at the sixth and final realm of rebirth, the most fearsome of them all, the hell realms, Naraka. Here, beings suffer torments so severe that words can scarcely describe them. Flames rise higher than mountains, burning without pause. Ice colder than death freezes bones until they shatter. Screams echo in endless valleys where no comfort can be found. In these realms, anger and hatred ripen into fire, cruelty and violence blossom into chains, and beings reap the sharp fruit of their darkest deeds. But understand this clearly, these hells are not eternal punishments delivered by some judge or ruler. In Buddhism, there is no god of wrath condemning souls forever. Instead, the hells are the natural unfolding of karma, the inevitable result of seeds planted by anger, hatred, and harm. Just as a hand placed in fire is burned, not because the fire is angry, but because that is its nature, so too do the flames of Naraka arise from the nature of destructive actions. And though these realms may seem far away, do we not taste them even in this human life? Think of the times when rage consumed you, when your chest tightened, your face burned, your mind became a furnace of hatred. In those moments, were you not in hell already? Think of despair so heavy that it pressed the breath from your body, grief so sharp it cut your very soul. Listing Buddha Denning, within Buddha Denning, that Denning. Hell is not only beneath the earth, it appears in the heart, here and now. The Buddha, in his great compassion, did not reveal the hell realms to terrify us, but to awaken us. He wished for us to see how destructive anger truly is. Anger burns us more than it burns the one we direct it toward. Hatred is a fire that eats its own fuel, and that fuel is our own heart. To carry resentment is to carry hell within us. Yet even here, in the darkest places, there is hope. Just as a seed of hatred leads to fire, so a seed of compassion can lead to liberation. When anger rises, if we can pause, breathe, and remember kindness, the flames lose their power. When hatred whispers in our ear, if we choose forgiveness instead, the chains begin to break. The practice of patience, the cultivation of loving kindness, are the bridges that carry us out of Naraka. So let us learn the lesson of this realm well. Hatred destroys, compassion heals, anger imprisons, forgiveness frees. Let us not wait until our karma drags us into fire to awaken. Let us recognize the sparks of hell within us now, and extinguish them with mindfulness and love before they blaze out of control. And now, dear friends, having walked through the 6 realms of existence, from the lofty heavens to the burning hells, we arrive at the end of our journey. It is time to reflect, to gather the lessons, and to see what the Buddha truly wished us to understand. Conclusion. My dear companions, we have walked together through the 6 realms of rebirth, from the radiant heavens of the gods to the fiery depths of hell. We have seen joy and sorrow, pride and envy, craving and ignorance, anger and despair, and perhaps, as you listened, you recognize that these realms are not only distant worlds to which beings may be reborn, they are also within us. Every day, in every moment, we touch them. When we are content, we glimpse the peace of the gods. When jealousy rises, we fall into the struggle of the demigods. When we live with balance, gratitude, and awareness, we honor our human birth. When we act blindly, driven by fear or instinct, we step into the life of animals. When we are consumed by endless desire, we feed the hunger of the Pretas. And when hatred burns in us, we create hell in our very hearts. The Buddha taught these realms not to frighten us, but to open our eyes. He wished us to see that our actions matter. Every thought, every word, every deed plants a seed, and from these seeds, our future grows. If we sow anger, we reap fire. If we sow craving, we reap hunger. If we sow ignorance, we reap bondage. But if we sow compassion, we reap peace. If we sow wisdom, we reap clarity. If we sow faith, we reap liberation. This human life you now hold is precious beyond measure. It is a rare chance to hear the Dharma, to reflect, to practice, to awaken. Do not waste it in envy, in anger, in craving. Do not live as though tomorrow is guaranteed. Instead, let every breath remind you of impermanence. Let every step remind you of the path. Let every encounter be an opportunity to practice kindness. The 6 realms remind us that samsara is vast, but they also remind us that liberation is possible. We do not have to wander endlessly. We do not have to remain bound. The Noble Eightfold Path is here. The teachings of the Buddha are here. The Sangha is here. The door to freedom is open to those who walk it with sincerity. So, my dear friends, as we close this journey, take this lesson deep into your heart. Life is fleeting, but the Dharma is timeless. Whatever realm you find yourself in, whether joy or sorrow, gain or loss, there is always the chance to turn toward awakening. Let faith be your compass. Let compassion be your guide. Let wisdom be your lamp. And may you in this very life take steps that lead not to another turning of the wheel, but to freedom beyond the wheel. May you be free from suffering. May you be free from fear. May you be free from the endless cycle of rebirth. And may all beings in every realm find peace.